Dear friends, do I still have friends here? I would like to... What did I put? Yes?
I made it. Wait.
Yes?
Wait, I put it there.
Now?
To the next.
I can...
Why?
So I go backward. Okay.
Oh, I don't know.
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. So, just a few words. I have been working now with my PhD, and finally it's ready. And yesterday I got a letter from the post and from Tampere University, and they said that you can publish it now, your book, and then. It was only 9 years story. So I'm really happy about it because I'm thinking also Snellman College, and it was a part of, from my part, it was a kind of that I wanted to give certain voice to Snellman College also, because I have been working here for many years, and as a former student also, I felt that this has been in the margin, Snellman College, as Markku mentioned, but from margin something comes up. So this is the idea that something perhaps will happen. So I will concentrate one thing in my PhD now, what was a kind of outcome to show you, and it's this living academy model. So the key concept is Phronesis, and somebody asked today that what does it mean? It doesn't. I don't find it from dictionary, but it's a practical wisdom, practical reason, and prudence, as Eva said, and many other names. So it's also readiness to act, or action readiness, or then it can also, but you have to also consider that it's a virtue. And this Aristotelian virtue system is now emerging again. So, but this is very interesting thing, and very interesting journey has been this 9 years together with Aristotle and other, and also Reijo Vilenius has been the key person in my study. Little bit background, 2002, this institution was evaluated. There was an external evaluation, and in the report, it's not very well translated by myself, but they said something like that as a further recommendation that that should be done more this, keep up this ongoing discussion and research of the educational concepts and background philosophy of this institution. This background philosophy, that please study it more. And they thought also, the external evaluation group, that it's not only important for Snellman College itself, but also the Finnish cultural perspective, the other institutions or universities. And I took that seriously, since that perhaps we should study it really and try to understand for ourselves, that we understand what is the background philosophy. But then it went deeper and deeper all the time. So I started to do, and here is my dissertation totally, so you can see it now there.
9 years.
Yeah. yeah. It's, I try to put it in one picture, so you don't have to suffer here whole evening. But anyway, to put it, and you see the Phronesis theory, and Reijo Vilenius wrote the book of the Kasvatuksen ehdot, the conditions of education. It was 1975, and I have written there that it's 3 layers. So the evolution of Phronesis, how it comes here. There's 3 stages. Aristotle starts it, but he speaks more that it's a methodic consciousness, that what methods we are using in order to receive it. But von Wright, who was Reijo's teacher, he said that, yeah, he's wrong there, Aristotle, that there should be also this kind of aim consciousness. This aim consciousness, it's not so good word like we have in Finnish, päämäärätietoisuus. So I don't know really, end consciousness doesn't sound very good, but perhaps some destination might be.
Goal-oriented consciousness.
What?
Goal-oriented consciousness.
Yeah, but you see what I mean now, the aim is there. And then Reijo Vilenius brought this situational consciousness. So these are the three layers there in this story. But where this comes from, this idea, I'm using the idea of Alistair MacIntyre, and he says that you can study virtues, but then you have to consider the tradition, which is Phronesis here. Then you have to consider kind of praxis. So what is where it is related? Here's the Snellman-College is a practice, and the class teacher education here. And there is the key idea of this living academy. I will come now next. But then there's a third level, is a narrative analysis of and I use the mimesis theory that it's the narratives. I studied interviewed 7 people who have been our students here and who are teachers now. So I interviewed them and I retold their stories. So this is the process of mimesis 1, mimesis 2, and mimesis 3 comes back. And this is the individual parts towards the profession. So, but Aristotle is here also. Mimesis means imitation or representation of action. It's quite nice that how Aristotle has been with me all the way through the journey. Okay, let's see. And these are these 4 elements, a little bit outcome from my. That there's 4 features of phronesis or narrative identities. And the intentional identity is one, and situational identity is another, and then there's a contextual identity, and then the holistic view of human being. There's this one identity also there. I can't explain it properly now here, but you see. And this is very interesting because this what Eva also this morning spoke, that the one problem of this practical wisdom is that we look at it as a theory normally, but this contextual thing is something what we should be looking now. So that we should bring it down here to the earth, these practicalities. So that we combine the theory and the praxis, so that it's in the context. And I liked also this and Terhi's idea that you are drawing on the floor. You are lifting up something, so you are there. That's what it means to be in the context or contextual there. So you see a little bit now what I try to say. And I can study phronesis from 3 different I was looking from 3 different points of view, and as a knowledge, it's a practical knowledge, practical syllogism. That's one of the theory where people are from Aristotle. He had also, normally we know only theoretical syllogism, but he had also practical. What does it mean? It means that I decide to stop smoking, so I have to find the method. Yes, I don't smoke anymore. Yeah, not anymore. But then I have to really do it also. And that is the third part, you put it in the action. You don't smoke. You stop. So you have to see the syllogism there. But I think that is normally what people are considering as this knowledge part, but it's not the whole thing. So phronesis as virtue, and Alistair MacIntyre have this idea that prudence, phronesis, is not only itself a virtue, it is the keystone of all virtue, which means that if we, it's a long story, but it's a kind of, I show you something soon, but also this phronesis is readiness to act wisely, that there's a certain wisdom, and as we know that the teachers, we hope always that we educate teachers to act wisely, doesn't we, don't we? I think that is the plan, that we tell them that they do that or that, and we hope then that they are doing. And sometimes it works. It goes like this. So you can see very wise, yeah, even wiser than my own action. I have seen much more. No, that was a joke. But here you can see what I mean, that this keystone, that is the idea. There's intellectual virtues, and then there's this moral or what is it in English now? Moral or character values, virtues. And this is the keys. And what does it mean? I will show you later on the picture. It means that the whole human being, there's these virtues what we have and we practice as ethos means, Aristotle says that ethos is the root word to ethics. So what kind of manners we have, we build up, and this is the character part of and the intellectual part is another thing, and it's much easier to teach that, because that you practice and that you can teach. And maybe we go further, and little bit only, I would like to show you that the history is that it started from Greece, and Aristotle made it as a synthesis there. And in Middle Age, it was a thesis. It was already there. It was a given thing for Thomas Aquinas. In the modern age, after that, it became anti-Aristotelian time, and Phronesis was as antithesis. It wasn't this kind of practicality after the Renaissance. They really wanted to get rid of this kind of practical wisdom. Only theoretical wisdom is somehow there. It's a contradiction. I know that people are thinking that we have been practically there, but we have been, and that is the problem, what we are now in, that we have been taking all the fruits from the earth through theoretical values and by force. We haven't been practically wise people. But we lost the Renaissance legacy. We lost that, and that is the part of and that's why we have to bring it back and that's Toulmin who says that we have to take back the Renaissance humanities and bring it back. And now here we are, and we are already here, living in the time of the practical wisdom, so to say. And we have then aim consciousness, situational consciousness, and methodic consciousness. As Reijo Vilenius say, this is the action mode now. And, okay, I leave that. Only say that from Brentano, there is nothing in thinking that was not previously in senses, except thinking itself, addition from Leibniz. So what does it mean? Let's go further. No, I I go to this living academy thing. Here is the structure of Snellman College as a studies. There's academic philosophical studies, artistic studies, and practical social studies. These are the three layers here. But what does it look? And that was the process what we did with our teachers. We studied that what are the processes here, and then we became conscious that we start from the action, and then next level is the experience, and then comes art in the main focus, and from action to experience, and then comes processes of thinking and reflecting actively. There comes knowledge. But the fourth part is the spiritual and narrative identities, and this way we can work. And I can say that this action is quite easy to do, organize action. Experience is fairly easy also. I mean, we get the experiences. We paint something and we get, oh, lovely things what we have done. And then comes the difficult part. That is terribly difficult. That how do we lift these up to the thinking, that we really are reflecting and thinking them through, so that we come to our own ideas. And then that we take, let's say, to our own life, to our identity. I always think that that's the night time of the day. So I take hold of what I have been doing all day. So I come here. So this is a kind of short view that starting from action, from down there, what is here and together, not like that teacher knows everything, but let's do something. And this kind of phenomenological starting point, that there's a phenomenon, let's study it. And the teacher is part there, one person there. And then how do we really get hold of this experience, and how do we reflect it so that we really have the knowledge after that? This is the process. Yes, I would rather go there deeper, but not now, because this is also interesting. But you can read them later on in my paper. So, thank you very much from my part. Yeah.